Hello there, my name is Jimmy Hippenstiel, and I am in P3's company of Funny Bōnz. If you want to know more about us, please watch this video because you're going to learn a lot. Trust me. And if not, we hope to see you at the show, okay? Real soon, up in LA at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Thank you. When did I fall in love with theater? Very good question. My mother recognized in me at a very young age that I was into this. She used to do PTA shows for schools, and she ended up putting me in them when I was about 4 and 5 years old. And my first public performance was doing a tap dance to Hello Dolly with my girlfriend at the time, who was our veterinarian's daughter. And we were both 5. And my mother recognized the bug, and she took me to do some more professional theater around 8. And I've been doing it ever since. I never stopped, never looked back. Well, you know what's interesting? I haven't done a lot of it. I did some improv for Disney for a couple of summers where we walked around and did improv comedy. And I got to be perfectly honest. When I first spoke to John about doing this, I kind of assumed it was improv comedy, which I really love. And I didn't realize it was sketch comedy. And I haven't done a lot of sketch comedy. So this will be one of my first experiences doing it. I've done a ton of musical theater and a good amount of improv comedy. But this is going to be interesting and fun for me. And it's kind of like because of everything we've been through in the last year or so, I felt like the need to get some laughter back in my life. And I thought this was a good way to do it. There were so many times last year where nobody felt like laughing. And I thought, I'm going to do something for myself now. And I'm going to give this a shot and see how it goes. And I think I'll enjoy it. But to answer your question, when did I fall in love with sketch comedy? This is going to be one of my first experiences doing it. I believe, well, obviously from the longevity that Saturday Night Live has experienced on television, it's never going to go away. And it's been here as long as any of us can remember. I just think people like to laugh. I think it's good because it's topical. It can help you to laugh at some of the bad news that's going on nowadays. And I noticed with the script of this show that it's very much updated to include and make farce of some of the things, that are so tragic to us. And at some point, you just have to see a little light at the end of the tunnel to make your soul happy. And, like I say, I'm doing this for personal reasons too, to make myself happy. And I think it's good for your heart to laugh. And I think if you have the right people around you and you go see the right theater, I think it's very, very healthy to get a good laugh out. I have a relationship with John Peterson, who is the founder of P3. We did theater together, primarily dinner theater, back in the day, probably 20 years ago before he moved to Florida. And then he started doing his own thing in Florida, and he started this company, the Funny Bōnz company over there. And I know they did a bunch of shows, and I've seen videos of those. But when he came back to California, he was looking for a way to get his own theater company going. And the first show that he wanted to do was Evita, which I have a good tie to John with because I was in it with him the first time our dinner theater did it. And then I directed and choreographed it. Well, I choreographed the second one and helped direct it. So, and John was in that one as well. So because of my relationship with John and Evita in particular, he reached out to me and told me about his new theater company. And I said, sure, this would be a great way to kick it off. And I'd love to help you get going. So I directed and choreographed that production for him with our original Evita, I might add. She was Evita in 20 years ago, and she was also our Evita this time. She sings the heck out of it. Sort of the same thing. John was reaching out to friends that I think I make John laugh. I don't want to claim that for sure, but I believe he laughs a lot when he's around me. So I think he was reaching out to people that he thought might have an interest in doing this and that he found funny and could have some good chemistry with him and the other people he was assembling. And that's why he reached out to me. So once again, he reached out to me and I said, why not? Let's go for it. Let's do it. It is a group of talented people I really like the group he's assembled. They seem very funny. They all have great voices. It's a musical sketch comedy, which is, entirely different than, your old in living color sketches or most of your Saturday Night Live sketches. There's music in every single scene. So everybody is a singer who enjoys comedy. So all of the comedy is found within song and within the lyrics. And a lot of the songs were written by, I believe, friends of John's in Florida. And then they've added some new material. We have a guy, Spencer, in our group right now, who wrote a song that I'll be doing about President Obama. I think that's why it's different, because it is sketch comedy that is set to music, which is not that common. I don't think it's done a lot. Yes, I'm very excited about experiencing the Fringe Festival myself. I've heard about it for years. I'm very involved in the Orange County theater community, and somewhat over involved to the point that I'm almost always busy or always working on 6 shows at a time. So I don't often get up to LA, and I've heard about the Fringe Festival for years, and I've actually never been to anything at the Fringe Festival. So I'm excited that we get to represent, John's group at the Fringe Festival, and that I get to see what it's all about. And I've heard great things about it, and I know a lot of great projects and very talented writers, producers get their start at the Fringe. And so it's going to be fun. My August was kind of light this year. And again, that's kind of the after effects of this whole COVID changing our schedules. And, I'm just not quite as busy in August as I usually am. So when he said it was in August, I thought, great. I want to find out what the Fringe Festival is about. I want to help you promote this group, and I'm in. I would like for them to laugh until their sides hurt. That would be the ultimate goal. I would also like them for them to talk about John's company, because I think it's halfway to entertain and halfway to promote. So if he can get this out, he's looking to make this a regular group of performers that will rent out to events. And in the Long Beach area, he's already got a couple of people interested. So that's going to be kind of the next step after this initial phase of promoting the group to California. It was pretty successful in Florida, from what I know. And now he's just looking to make a West Coast name for himself. I want to laugh. I just want to laugh. I want to get to know some new people. I want to get out of the apartment. Obviously, we've all been stuck at home a lot recently, for the last year. And I would hate to see a decline cause that to happen again. And it seems like it tentatively may be going in that direction. And I just want to do this. I just want to do this and have a good time. And I'm looking for a little, like you said, for my soul. I'm looking for some laughter and some happiness, to creep back in there. So you're not worried all the time. I'm a teacher. I teach musical theater. And so it's been a really rough road, but we've managed to keep going the entire year. We never stopped. We did shows in parking lots. We did shows at churches. We've done outdoor performances. We just recently moved back indoors. So these kids never lost their passion, but I was in charge of it. So it was sometimes hard trying to follow all the rules and the regulations that have been popping up, and, making last minute split second decisions on what we were going to do. And so for me, this is just personal fulfillment. As far as I'm not in charge, I just get to do my thing, and I don't have to worry, and I can hopefully have a good time and get some good laughs out of it. The whole Fringe Festival, I'm looking forward to discovering what it's all about, really. We're in a small black box theater, which I haven't done a lot of that. I tend to do full scale musicals on big stages as a rule. I don't get to perform very often anymore. So it'll be an interesting change of point of view for me to go in and do black box theater, because even when I did improv, it was at Disneyland, which obviously is on a large scale. So I haven't done a lot of the LA black box feel, and I kind of want to see, what's going on at the Fringe, and hopefully, after we perform, if there's any time left in the evening, I would like to get around and see some other talent on stage. I believe everyone should come see Funny Bōnz for reasons I previously stated, to get a good laugh. That's my main objective. I believe that they need to find out what John is doing, because it's nothing short of miraculous that he's managed to keep going with a brand new theater company that was less than, 8, 9 months old when COVID hit and everything went down. And he somehow managed to keep it alive with an online presence by doing creative things that still kept him in the community. So I'm pretty impressed with John, and I would love for everybody to know. I want them to know success stories about people who have thrived during all of this craziness we've been going through. And I believe John is a success story, and I hope Funny Bōnz will be too. I know he wants to keep going. I've got to see how it fits in with my teaching schedule as far as like sticking with it. I want to. I think I'm going to be able to, the way John is describing it. It'll be events booked out on certain days of the week. And so I'm just hoping for some longevity for this group because it would bring success to P3. And he wants to get like a core group of 13, 14 performers together, and then you send out 8 at a time to go represent. And I would love to be a part of that. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that John's dream of bringing this to the West Coast and keeping it alive is going to occur. I see daily what the arts do for children who have a passion. And it affects you in every walk of life, whether you end up doing theater or not. You gain self-confidence, you gain awareness of your body and of your presentation skills. You get comfortable in social environments. You just learn how to be a better package of yourself from doing theater, whether you end up doing it or not. Your question was about P3 in particular. Everybody in the arts needs support right now. I think that's pretty obvious. My company, the Musical Theater Academy of Orange County, and I'm not self-promoting, but that's the name of it. We wouldn't even be here if it weren't for the support of some angels on earth who support the arts and help keep almost everybody alive. We've got people like Julia Arduous behind us, who is a big name in Orange County on the side of a lot of arts buildings. People that love the arts and are generous with their time and their money, to other companies that need help. That's what keeps us going. Obviously the arts do not make a lot of money on their own. They survive on donors. They survive on people, getting behind the program and believing in it. So I think that's what's important, is for people to maybe see P3, maybe say, hey, that's a great idea. I like this, and get behind it, and maybe reach out with a donation or with a gig. Maybe call John and say, I'd like you to come to my company party. I'd like you to do this here. So that it is important to have the support, otherwise you don't exist. And I can vouch for that with my company. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for certain people. Hello, everybody. My name is Jimmy Hippenstiel, and I hope you enjoyed this interview today. And we are talking about the Hollywood Fringe Festival and Funny Bōnz, which is coming your way up to LA. And we hope you come out and see it. And we hope that you visit the P3 Theater Company website and see all the exciting goings on that John Peterson and company and team, all that they have to offer to you. So please visit P3 and support them in the future. We would love to have another great theater company in our midst.